Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we're talking because we need to talk about a little crossover event that took place last night involving Nell from Love and Marriage Huntsville, involving Stormi from Love and Marriage Huntsville, involving Destiny from Love and Marriage Huntsville, because where were they? We had a crossover event with the Bells, with Belle Collective, because Latrice from the Belle Collective had an opening of a brand new restaurant called The Taste that is in Mississippi. So Stormi was documenting it, her and Courtney went, Destiny went, and then Nell decided to go on live and was hanging out, with, a couple of the Bells and all of the things, right? And it is garnering a lot of reaction, which we'll get to in a moment. The highlights of the live that basically Nell did. For some reason, people are concerned about, what the status of Destiny and Lance Fletcher. And I found it peculiar that Nell didn't seem to care and said that you had to ask Destiny or Lance. And I find this interesting because it's not just anybody. You know what I'm saying? This is the same Destiny that wanted to fuel rumors that she was dating Jalen, Kimmy's son. This is the same Destiny that has no problem fueling rumors of her and Martell when it benefited, the both of them to keep the speculation going, but then wanted to say in Mel's face, no, nothing ever happened, right? And all of these things. And I'm just thinking to myself, Nell, you can't be serious and thinking that you don't care. So found that interesting, that she wanted to try to downplay whatever it is, because if there's nothing going on between them, why not just say that? I don't know, it's weird. It's very, 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 very weird. Then there were questions that were being asked about the status of Love and Marriage Huntsville, because as you guys know, somebody wanted to spread some things to allege that the show had been canceled, although there's been no press release, there's been no official announcement, and as of now, we are still anticipating the last 15 episodes plus the reunion to still air, which usually is a determining factor on whether or not a show is going to get renewed or not for additional episodes. And so nonetheless, Nell was like, that's new information to me. And so then somebody must have been doubling down in the comments, and then she kind of was like, well, you may know better than me. How do you know that's not a troll? Like, what? How is a faceless and nameless stranger that is leaving comments in your live all of a sudden the source of truth? Can you make it make sense? It wasn't Carlos King in the comment, so how could you can you make it make sense? Right? And so nonetheless, that happens. Basically, she said the show's not canceled. They're on hiatus until November, then confirmed with the Bells when they come back. The Bells come back, of course, on Friday, and they wanted to make it a point to say, listen, we own Friday nights on OWN. I would think Ready to Love would have something to say about that. But nonetheless, more power to you. I would think Ready to Love, when Ready to Love is on, would think that they own Friday nights on the OWN network. Just saying, because I believe they're the number one show on the OWN network. But nonetheless, that is that, right? And so then there were a lot of conversations, a lot of questions as it pertained to Mel, you boys. Because as much as people want there to be, a spin-off without Mel, as much as people want there to be a show without Mel, it seems that people love entertaining all things about Mel. They like copying all things Mel. They like trying to implement her blueprint, trying to look like her, trying to dress like her, trying to release merch like her with all of the t-shirts now associated with their businesses, emulate their TikTok lives after Mel, or now move on to TikTok to start selling products or doing all these things. It seems that they hate on Mel for everything that she does, and then when it's successful or it's too successful, they end up doing the same thing. Now, who told Nell to put on the Wendy Williams wig? I have no idea. I think she should burn that wig. She needs to throw it in the fireplace, never to be seen the light of day again. Not everybody can pull off blonde. But Nell especially, that blonde wig was an HELL no. So, regarding the Mel questions, right? Nell is saying that she's going to stick beside Mel. Her and Mel are still friends. Her and Mel have disagreements like normal friendships. Her and Mel have gone back and forth on various things. And then she made an interesting comment, you guys. She made an interesting comment saying that she has fallen out with Mel before, but that they're still friends and that they're still cool and that they still talk all the time. No. I don't know about y'all, but I think there's technically maybe one person I've ever fallen out with before. And from what I recall, when you have a falling out with somebody, it usually means you never talk to them again. like, am I missing the memo? That you can fall out with... Now, it's one thing if you said, hey, we had a falling out about something, however, we've reconnected or we've worked out whatever the issue, this and that, but Nell made it seem like it was an active falling out, and she's still trying to maintain that there is a friendship that is there so that she doesn't get dragged by the Mellometers or the Mel supporters. And that is when I perked up, because I was like, something doesn't make sense here. Because the falling outs that I'm aware of usually means we're never speaking to each other again, unless HELL freezes over. So nonetheless, I found that very interesting, because that's not normal to make a comment like that. At least not in my world, it's not. It's one thing if you had said, hey, there was a major issue that we had. However, we did not, it didn't end our friendship. It didn't end anything. And we were able to talk and work it out. And, and then she said, she also made another comment that she always doesn't say the things that she wants to say to Mel as well, as if she is holding back and is afraid to say certain things. So found that piece very interesting as well, you guys. So what do I think of all of this? I think Nell is trying to save face and not get dragged. She has obviously seen what is taking place right now as it pertains to Dr. Shanita Foster, and she does not want that smoke, and she has previously been exposed to that smoke before, just with her flippity-flop behavior in the interviews that she has done, where she has called both Mel and Tell hard-headed, where she has both said that they both are childish and both have issues, and basically tried to make it seem like Mel and Martell are the same. But one thing Nell did say was that she was never turning her back on Mel, because she said she knows everything that Mel has been through, the ups and downs and all these things, and she will never turn her back on her. And so my thing is this, because that would allude to there being even more awful things that Nell is privy to that has allegedly happened with Mel and Tell. And you're still getting on national television and talking about how you don't like how Melody sent a black man to jail, and we've got to protect the black men in our community and all of these things. And then you are supposed to be a friend of Mel's, but you gossip first to Stormi, who is instigating the story about Martell being arrested, and you guys are commiserating over it just being a text message and not consulting your friend of many years, Mel, to get her side of the story. It wasn't until episodes later that we see you finally having a conversation with Mel about what happened after you are already giving your commentary amongst the group. Wouldn't Mel, who is supposedly supposed to be your friend, be the first person that you call to get their side of the story? But see, this is the problem, you guys, and it's kind of a theme across all of these other couples, right? That if there had been some cheating or some infidelity or some sketchy behavior amongst these couples, they were pushing for everybody to stay together so that they can keep each other's secrets in-house. But the problem is when you get a divorce and you have somebody as unhinged as Martel, who knows everybody's secrets in all of their marriages, he can just basically put it out there anytime he wants if he feels that they're betraying him. And that's why at one point, even the Scotts were pushing for Martel to stay with Mel and work things out, not because they wanted to see Mel and Tel be a happy power couple, but it was to protect their secrets, to protect any transgressions they did. That anything that was inappropriate that took place, no matter how small or big, but if they were in the present and Martel was a witness to it, they wanted Martel to stay in the marriage so all that can be kept under wraps. The problem now is when you're divorced and there's this back and forth, unfortunately, it is difficult to be friends with both parties from the divorce. It's difficult, especially when you have somebody as out of control and a menace to society like Martel, who is, doing all of this shenanigans, trying to file all these motions in court, trying to make all these things happen in court, and trying to malign and destroy his ex-wife, and now involving the kids into the madness. So how you and Chris can just sit here and still be cool is no different than what we have seen for several seasons with the other cast members continuing to have their capes on for Martel, but then when it gets called out, want to claim that they're still cool with Mel or they're still friends with Mel, all because you're afraid of the Melimeters and the Mel supporters and you don't want to get dragged. But it's sketchy. It's sketchy and it's not normal. And the only other conclusion is that you wanted Mel secretly to still be with Martel as well. Even though you claim to know how horrible things were and the things that were awful that Mel went through, obviously there was a level of bonding that has taken place with some of these couples who are knowingly staying with their cheating husbands, while their husbands are out here on these guys' trips, knowing daggone well what they're doing on these weekends and these Airbnbs and everything else and the like, and carrying on, you guys are having, the cheating wives meeting of the minds, right? To cry over your cheating husbands. Well, Mel decided that is not going to be her for the rest of her life. Mel decided that she was going to rebuild her life from the ground up, from the bootstraps, so that she does not ever have to have her entire existence being on the whim of Martel and his unhinged antics and trying to elevate a side chick. No. That's really the issue at hand, is that a lot of these women do not have the strength that Mel has to leave their trifling husbands. And so it bothers them because their husbands are probably in their ear, like, don't spend too much time with Mel. She's independent. She's successful. She's blah, 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 blah. And, we don't need that type of influence. We don't need you to feel empowered that you can leave and that you can do all the things that Mel's doing. You need me. I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one that is making X, Y, and Z happen, right? So obviously that contradicts everything that Mel is representing to them. Remember the last reunion, even Marceau said that he would fight to save his marriage because he would never want to see Letitia ever try to glow up like Mel did. Do you know how crazy that sounds? You're basically admitting to the national audience that you want your wife to stay at a certain level You do not want your wife to glow up. You do not want your wife to make it big. You don't want your wife to elevate like Mel has. You don't want your wife to be happier like Mel is. You don't want your wife to have freedom like Mel has, because that is a threat to you. That is an issue to you. That makes you look bad. That exposes that you were not that good of a husband to begin with. But it's the audacity of it all, right? It's the audacity of it all. But that was the vibe that I got with Nell. It's giving no longer friends. It's giving frenemies. And it's giving, hey, we're going to keep the peace for the sake of keeping the peace. But it doesn't sound like this friendship is the same at all. But it sounds like Nell is diminishing, their closeness and all these things. And then there's always the people in the comments that are like, oh yeah, Mel said you're a real one and you're a good friend. And of course, Nell lights up, you guys. Nell lights up and all of the things, right? Like, yeah, I'm a real one and blah, blah. No. See, I hate when people do that, you guys, because how recent was that was said, right? And where are the receipts? This is my thing sometimes with lives, and this is probably why I haven't gone live anytime, recently or ever on my channel. I'm still on the fence, but nonetheless, because sometimes people can just throw out anything, right? People can throw out anything in the comments. And the thing is, if you don't know about it, if you don't know for it to be a fact, it can sound ridiculous, right? Or if it's something that happened many years ago, many moons ago, but they're bringing it up now as if it's something's recent, in the midst of you knowing deep down that there might be some turmoil with you and Mel, it's, trying to push a certain narrative. And then all this is going to get back to Mel one way or the other. So at some point in the future, she's going to speak about this one way or the other. Because she already said, once the episodes return, and especially whatever takes place at the reunion, Mel is going to expose whatever behind the scenes, whatever is necessary to kind of put a pin in some of the false narratives that have been put out there. But, and then I wanted to address one final thing, because there's like this wild theory that people still believe that the show is canceled, that Love and Marriage Huntsville is canceled, and that the cast is moving to Belle Collective, you guys. And I'm going to ask you from a financial standpoint, how does that make sense? It's one thing if you said that they're doing a Love and Marriage Mississippi spinoff, that Stormi is going to anchor with the Scotts, or something like that. That is more believable than all of the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast just going to the cast of Belle Collective, which would mean they would need to take a pay cut, you guys. Which would mean they're not going to be getting paid the same money that they've accumulated the seasons that they have been on currently on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Can you make it make sense? But I do find it interesting, right? Because we had, like I said, Letitia and Destiny in Detroit for the Love and Marriage Detroit premiere. We had, of course, some of the Love and Marriage Huntsville folks come down to the Love and Marriage DC premiere and all of that. And now we have Love and Marriage Huntsville hanging out with the Belles. And I don't think it's anything as far as like they're combining shows. I think they're trying to show unity and support. And I think they're trying to show that, hey, we don't hate each other like the narrative's trying to be put out there. I think they're genuinely trying to show support and sisterhood. However, certain people from Huntsville, though, I can't say that it's genuine on their part. I think it's strategic on their part to make it seem one way. Because Stormi, didn't you originally want to be on the Belle Collective and got denied? And got rejected. And it was Mel that had to vouch for you to be on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So that's how it's just interesting how everything comes full circle, right? That everybody is desperate to run back to these other shows, these other Carlos King shows, to make it seem like everything is good with everything. No. We still need to address the elephant in the room, which is the disaster that is currently Love Marriage Huntsville. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.